Alright, so now what we're going to do is commission a JASIC. And we did previously we did an offline station. If you go down in your host, in My Files, user home, stations, you should still have your ASI test. If not, whatever, if you have a station you built offline, it doesn't have to be SI test, of course, but you can see it's there. Here's our config. It's got all our drivers and services, so we're ready to go there. So my JASIC is at 192.168.1.14. If you need to make a new connection, if you need to make a new connection, you go to File, Open, and do Open Platform. And if you needed SSL, TLS only, that's fine. Mine is set up for a regular platform connection. The only thing that really changes is you'll notice when you hit your TLS, it goes to 5011 as your port. I'm going to leave it on the normal, which is 3011. My IP is 192.168.1.14. Hit OK. And I've got my credentials saved, but you can put yours in. Hit OK. And this guy here should open up, and we do. We got a platform connection. So you notice there is a TLS platform connection in there. That's where I had attached to it earlier. You should only see, if this is the first time attaching to it, as a platform connection and no stations, but I have connected to this before. So we want to go to platform administration under your platform connection, and you're going to go to commissioning all the way at the bottom here. Hit commission. And you get the commissioning wizard. It makes it really easy. If it's brand new and it doesn't have a license, then you're going to check. Actually, that's grayed out. It's already there, so you may do that automatically. But set enabled runtime profiles, yes. Install station from local computer, yes. Install lexicons, we don't need that. Install upgrade module, yes. Install upgrade core software, yes. We definitely want that. Sync with my local system date and time. I like to do that the first go around when you're commissioning. Configure the TCP IP settings. We do want to do that. And configure a system passphrase. We'll go ahead and add that. And then configure additional platform name and users. We don't really need anybody else for the time being. If you want to do that, you can. It just adds another user. Some people like to use the platform user to go back and forth if you have a web supervisor and a JASIC. In this particular instance, we're not going to have that, so we're not worried about it. Go ahead and click Next. And if you want to install licenses, if it hasn't been installed yet, you can either do it, say, from Files, if you have a license that was emailed to you, or you can say install device limit 4.8 from the server, which basically says this host ID is bound to it, and the JASIC has a connection to the internet, or your computer has a connection to the internet currently. It'll actually pull the licenses from the server. Most of the JASICs we send out already have the licenses bound, so you don't need to worry about it. You can leave that as don't change any licenses. And you can leave the default here. We don't need the .jar files on the JASIC itself. That just takes up memory. And we'll click Next. And I do want to transfer a station. I'm going to pick our ASI tests. The really nice thing about that is once you've built your ASI station offline, any module dependencies that are in the station, like the BATNet network or the ASI network, is automatically going to install the jar. It's going to select the jar files for you. So you don't have to go through this great big long list of jar files and pick, okay, I want this, I want that, I want this, no, I don't want that, and then have stuff on there that you don't need, and then try to open something later, and then it won't open because it says it has a dependency for a jar file that's not installed. If you built your offline station, it'll automatically select what the dependencies are and install them for you. So I do want to start after install, and I want it to auto start every time the platform daemon starts. So I'm going to leave both of those checked. And I'm going to click Next, and it says only allows one single station. So this is if it was you're recommissioning a JASIC that's already had a station on it. I'm going to say yes because I don't care. We're going to blow the station that's on there away and start fresh. So I'm going to hit Next. And it's building the module. Instead of us going through and selecting, it's building the module list for us right now, so which is good. And we'll give it just a minute to do that. And here's the list that we normally would see. And you still can go back and add stuff if you want to. But you'll notice Normally it just says not installed on everything if you don't have a station that you're transferring. But you notice that here it shows up to date. I've got my alarm one because I have alarms in it. I've got my ASI controls jar file, my IntelliTask jar file. Those are selected. My BACnet jar files. Those are all selected because of the dependencies that are in the station that we're transferring. So we should be good to go there. I can hit next. And here's our core software. You have to have the core software, otherwise the JASIC won't run. And hit next. And then here's our configuration for our IP address. So localhost is fine to leave as your host name. Gateway is whatever your local gateway is. That happens to be correct, 192.168.1.1 for my network. And then here is your NIC card. So NIC card 1 is enabled. The IP address is at 14. That's because it was already previously there. So that may be blank, or the HCP is probably enabled. You want to disable the HCP and put in your actual static IP address. Same thing if you want to add something to your second NIC card or EN1. I like to put it at one difference, either 0 or, because I'm on a .1 scheme, I like to put it on enable it, and then put it on, oh I'm sorry, not enable it. I like to put it on the .2. .2.14. So my standard IP for my primary is the .1.14. I leave it exactly the same, so it's still going to be 14, but I put it on the .2. That way I have a back door to get into the JASIC should this port get fried or something happen to it. And from there we click next. Current passphrase, new passphrase, and confirm new passphrase. I don't remember what my passphrase was. Let's see. So it's going to make me find out my old passphrase. Okay, so I found my old passphrase and I hit next. So this is the next screen. It says please review the following changes, and then click the finish button. So everything looks good. We're going to do ASI test as our station. We're going to copy every file in the station. Core software is good. Localhost 192.168.1.1 is our gateway. 1.14 is our first primary adapter. 2.14 is our secondary. No changes, all good. So I'm going to click finish, and it's going to run through and actually permission JASIC, transfer all the modules, install the station, so on and so forth. And it takes a few minutes, but not terribly long. You can see, oh, there we go. So now the JASIC is rebooting, so we should be good there. And you notice that we did lose connection now. That's because the JASIC is rebooting. So if you'll wait just a minute, the JASIC will reboot, and then we'll be able to come back online. So we'll go back to our platform. Okay, we got to log in, so hit OK. Yep, still rebooting. And it does take a few minutes for the JASIC to reboot, so if you wait 3 or 4 minutes, go get a coffee or something and come back, usually you're in pretty good shape. So go get you a coffee. Alright, so all I did was double click on the platform. After it rebooted, I got to log in, hit OK, put my credentials in, and in Application Director here, you can see ASI Test is our station, and it is starting right now. So we'll give it a minute to go through that process as well, and then we'll open our station and see what we got. So you can see here I'm in the Application Director now. It did still, we're running, the station is running now. And you'll notice it's created, it did start, and we're getting some errors, but that's because I'm running offline. But this is a really great example. You can come back and see, hey, There's some stuff going on here that's not working. Transaction timed out. Backnet transport. Warning. Invoke ID. You see all these different things. UC time synchronization not allowed for this station. So you see some different things going on here that are useful. Most of these, 99% of these, are because I don't have devices attached to it, so I'm not real concerned with it at the moment. But application directory is where you can come to look and see what's going on, because it'll tell you if there's errors going on in your network. So we want to go ahead and connect to the station. And actually, yep, I need to right click on it and do open station. And that is the right one, 192.168.1.14, 1911. Okay. Or not. I'm going to go ahead and close that one. We'll leave that one there, that's fine. And open station, station connection. You notice there's a station TLS connection and a station connection. We should be able to hit it because, there we go. It's trying. Interesting. So why can't we connect? Station is running. Oh, it's running on Foxs. So yeah, because I did leave Foxs running too. So we just want to change that up and go here, do open station, and I want a TLS connection. So should get a login screen now. And it does take a little longer because it's secure. And there we go. Admin. And let's do. That would have been the admin password that we created when we made the station. Just FYI. But if you go in here and config and services, you'll notice you have your IntelliTask, right? And if you go in our tag dictionary service, we do have our haystack. So the transfer of our station did work. Go to drivers, we do have an ASI network, which we don't have anything in at the moment. And we do have a BACnet network. Let's see if we got anything live. I don't know that we will at the moment. Yeah. No, and that's just because I don't have anything online connected to it. But in the real world, you would have this and be ready to go. But you do notice that from our templates, oh, it didn't parse it. Yeah. So we need to make sure that our files got transferred over. And they did not. So that'll be the next step, is to get our files transferred over. We should have done that when we built our station. So commissioning worked. We got our transfer of our station onto the drive. That was just a mistake on my part in building the ASI test station. I didn't get the files pulled through. So that is how you commission a JASIC, and now you're ready to go and off and running.